Welcome back. This is the second part of a lesson we started last week where we were working with customary units measuring system, and today we're going to be using metric, and we talked just a little bit about that last week. So let's use what we learned about converting between units to do it with a new system. For our Just Know It today, here we go, Just Know It, we have a conversion chart here. 1 meter equals 1,000 milliliters. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters, so it seems like there's some base 10 relationship here. 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters, so then we can convert between all of these. So let's look for a pattern here when we do some conversion. So 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So 2 meters, 200. 3 meters, excuse me, 300. 4 meters, 400. 5 meters, 500. Now we got to 10 meters, and we know that 5 meters is 500, or we could just do 10 times 100, and we would get 1,000 centimeters. So 20 meters would be double that, 2,000 centimeters. Let's move on to this side. 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. 2 kilometers, 2,000 meters. 3 kilometers, see the pattern? 4 kilometers, 4,000. 4 times 1,000. 5 kilometers, 5,000. 10 kilometers, oh my goodness, 10 times 1,000. 10,000 meters. And then finally, 20,000. That's a really long distance. Wow. Great job with just knowing it today. All right, we're moving on to figure it out. Let's do it. So I have 3 word problems here, and we are going to pick 2 of them to solve. We have one about Kendrick, one about Drake, and one about Beyonce. Let's see. I think I want to start with Kendrick. Let's do Kendrick. Kendrick walked 500 meters per day, every day for 1 week. How many kilometers did he walk all together? So we have 500 per day for 1 week, and we know there are 7 days in the week, so that's times 7. How many kilometers did he walk altogether? I think instead of doing a multiplication problem here, what makes sense to me is to make a tape diagram where I put 500 7 times, and then I can group them because I know on my conversion chart that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So let me show you what I mean. So here we go. If I want to do a tape diagram, I can draw, and I want to have 7 spots, I'm going to draw 6 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 500, 500, 500, 500, 500. That is a lot of walking. Okay, and now I can group this is 1 km. Another km. Another kilometer, and then I have 500 meters left over. So let's go back and count how many that is. 1, 2, 3, and 500 meters. So that would be half of a kilometer. So I'm gonna write 3 1/2 kilometers. Cool. Let's go down to Beyonce. Beyonce danced all around the track 3 times. Seems important. The track was 400 meters. How many kilometers did she dance all together? So 3 times. 1, 2, and it was 400. That's a lot of dancing. Okay, so 404, I know 4 times 3 is 12. So I can use my knowledge of 4 times 3 to use with 400 times 3. So 400 times 3, so that would look like 400 has inside of it 4 times 100 times 3. So I'm going to do 4 times 3 is 12 times 100. So now I'm thinking of my place value. I'm going to move over 12 on the place value chart, 10 times 10 times 10, and that's going to give me 1,200. So, but this is asking for it in kilometers. We solved for it in meters. I know, according to my chart, 1,000 meters are in 1 kilometer. So I have 1,200 meters. So I have 1 kilometer and 200 meters. Let me move that over a little bit. There you have it. We solved some problems for Figure It Out. Nice work. Let's move on to what's new. Well, it's not as new as you might think. Last time in our first part of this lesson, we worked on the customary system with feet. We worked on it with gallons, but we spend most of our time working with some weight, doing pounds and ounces. And today we're going to focus on the metric system. A lot of places in the world use the metric system. Meter, liter, and gram for length, capacity, and weight. So let's reread that learning target that matches what we're going to be focusing on today. I can use different units to measure, and we can convert between those units. So remember, converting means finding the equivalent unit, maybe in a smaller unit or a larger unit like we did with our Just Know It and Figure It Out. So let's take a look at some bare number problems and maybe a word problem to see what we'll be working on today for what's new. Let's grab some tools to do some mathematical thinking together. All right, we're working on the metric system. So we're finally finding equivalents. So 1 kilometer we know equals 1,000 meters. So 4 kilometers, 4 times 1,000 would equal 4,000. 7 times 1,000 would equal, 7,000. Now we're going the other way, 18,000 meters. So how many thousands are in there? 18, so that's 18 kilometers. 1 meter equals 100. Centimeter, this means 100, okay? So 3 meters, 3 times 100 would be 300. 80 meters equals how many? Let's make a place value chart. So if I have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and I have 80, that's 8 tens, 0 ones. I'm multiplying it by 100, so I need to move it over 2 times. So this would be times 10, and then times another 10, that equals 100. So I'd have 8 here. I have to move this one also, and I end up with 8,000. Okay? Or another way of looking at that is 80 hundreds. Okay? 12,000 centimeters to meters. So now we're going the other direction. I'm going to use this space over here. So I have my ones, my tens, my hundreds, and my thousands. Okay? So we have 12. Well, I have to add my 10,000s. Whoops. 10,000. So we have 1 10,000, 2,000, 0, 0, 0. So we're just adding this. Or not adding it, but placing it on our place value chart. We're going 2 meters, so that means we're basically dividing. The meter number is going to be smaller, although they're equal in distance. The more centimeters, centimeters are smaller measurements, so you need more of them to be meters. So I'm going to divide by 100. That means that these divided by 10, divided by 10. So my 10,000s will end up in the hundreds, and my thousands divided by 10 will end up in the tens. So I end up with 120 meters. Well done. Let's do a word problem. Read, think, draw, write. Here we go. What's new? Enya walked 2 kilometers, 309 meters from school to the store. So if I imagine school to the store, thinking about it. Then she walked from the store to her home. Store to her home. If she walked a total of 5 kilometers, how far was it from the store to her home? Oh, I did my arrows wrong. So she walked from the school to the store. I have to think about it. School to the store. Then she walked from the store to her home. So these distances might not be the same amount because she wasn't going back and forth. Okay. So she walked. So we read and we're thinking about it. I think it's going to be subtraction because we know the total. We know the total is 5 kilometers for this, but we know one part of this is 2 km, 309 m. We don't know this part. So we drew a model, and let's do an equation. So 5 km kilometers minus 2 kilometers, 309 meters equals, and let's make it D for distance. D equals distance to home. Okay, so I'm gonna do my kilometers first, 3 kilometers, and now I'm left with my 309 meters equals D. Now inside of 3 kilometers is 2 kilometers and another kilometer, which is equal to 1,000 meters minus 309 meters. Now I've converted that to meters, and now I can do my subtraction because they're the same. Okay, so I know that 1,000 minus 300 would be 700, but I don't have 700, or I don't have 300, I have 3,009. So I know that it's gonna be 9 less than 700 because I have 9 more here. So my total here is gonna be 2 kilometers, and after I subtract this, so it's not 700, it's gonna be 700 minus that 9, so that'd be 691 meters equals D. And there you have it. All right, let's go to try it, where you get to take what you learned with me and try it on your own at home. So I have some try it problems here. I'll hold them up so you can see them a little better. I want you to choose one, or maybe you want to do both. Ed lined up 10 guitar picks across his desk. Each pick was 12 millimeters wide. How many centimeters long was his line of guitar picks? So think about how you could use that tape diagram or other type math model to help you solve and envision this. And then you're gonna put it into centimeters. So think about that. Pause this if you can, if you wanna jot down the most important information from this problem. Or you could do Selena. Selena sang while she rode her bike down a block that was 50 meters long. How many millimeters did she ride? And you are gonna take it from meters to millimeters. So you'll wanna remember that conversion chart we did earlier, or you can make your own to refer to as you're solving these problems. Really proud of the work you did today. All right, it's time to say goodbye. So glad you could join me today. Let's end with a cool, way cool. Here we go. Cool, way cool. Thanks for watching.